Hey everybody, happy Friday and welcome to the Fanatic Forum and a very special Fanatic Forum as part of the 2026 Multiverse Funraiser right here for Comic Books for Kids, the reason for the season as it were. I'm your Fanatic and host, George Bueller. If you haven't been with us here, the Fanatic Forum is the place for geeks. We are all things geek, whether it comes to comics, movies, TV, wrestling, music, whatever the case may be, that's what we are all about here. So I'm going solo tonight here, but that's okay because I have some special guests with us this evening here, especially for all you anime fans out there. We are presenting here our friends Martheus and Janet Wade here, the creators of the Toshigawa universe. So welcome, guys.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello.
I'm doing great. Pleasure to have y'all on here. So, real quick, my background when it comes to anime, I'm old school. I grew up on mostly like a lot of the 80s movies, or set like 70s, 80s movies, stuff like that. And then basically kind of my cutoff is for like the series is like Bubblegum Crisis and Berserk is probably my most current one.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where I'm coming at. But tell us first off, what is kind of your main influences for the creation for the Toshigawa universe?
You want to go?
You go first.
Well, I mean, one of the creations I just liked anime, and it started out with a character that I just had named Shiandria Toshigawa, and at first, I made up this character in the sixth or seventh grade.
After watching what movie?
After watching Ninja 3: The Domination. I love that movie, right? I used to love that movie. And me and my friend Richie, we used to watch Ninja 3: The Domination, and we played Ninja Gaiden, the early ones, in on the Nintendo, right? So we used to play that religiously, and then so I came up with my own like female ninja type character and called her Jetta. And from then, man, I just kept over the years, just kept building onto the lore. And until one day I just was like, oh man, I'm just gonna make this into a universe, and it just became the Toshigawa universe based off of her because it's centered around her. So that's why her name is Shiandria Toshigawa, and that's why it's named the Toshigawa universe. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm a big video game fan. I love video games. I love Street Fighter, Ninja Gaiden.
Nice.
Y'all are lucky. As a kid, I didn't have any consoles. My sister and I, we played video games on a PC. My dad would get.
You want to talk about what game you play?
Yeah, I will. I will actually.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Not Ninja Gaiden at all.
No, she didn't play Ninja Gaiden. I played the wholesome game.
So a lot of the stuff that we had was like coded things that my dad had like he used to subscribe to like Omni magazine.
Yep.
And like other like similar magazines like computer type coding magazines from back in the day. And
it was like computer geek stuff, but it was also sci-fi stuff as well.
Yeah. There would be like tidbit, like pages and pages of code, and he would code all these things and like either save them to floppy disks, if the young people know what that is anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But we would go ahead and play those games, my sister and I, off of the PC. So we would play things like it was called Hero Quest, which was partnered with Spielberg. Do you know that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know that game. Yeah,
love that. Manhunter, Leisure Suit Larry.
Larry, dude.
Yes,
come on, man. Like,
yes.
I mean, it's what we had. Y'all had
Ninja Gaiden. Look, like people used to give me crap because they're like, it's so violent. You're killing the ninjas and stuff, and I'm just like, she over here playing Leisure Suit Larry. Which one is worse?
Like, I was like, what, 11? I don't know.
11 years old, man.
See, so like So like I'm old enough to like go back to I remember Pong, right? Because I'm 50.
Mm-hmm.
So like we didn't even have like the real Pong. We had like the generic like sports games pack, and it was like so it was like 8 games. It's all like literally like the same variation of the same game, right? And then like one Christmas we upgraded to an Intellivision. So I was like, so yeah, I was rolling big time. But the best part, that like my aunt who lived like a block away, she and my uncle, like they got an Atari, like when it was popular to have them. Then they got bored with it real quick, but then they kept buying games that somehow they thought I might be interested in.
Mm-hmm.
So like one block away, I had an Atari, so I kind of had a little best of both worlds. So,
yeah.
But in the '90s, a kid in my neighborhood, like they had a PC, and he got a copy of the original Leisure Suit Larry. So that was naughty. Yes.
I got lucky, man. My mom got me an Atari, and then I went from Atari to Nintendo.
Okay.
And then, I got two Ataris. I got the first Atari.
Calm down.
No, I got the first Atari, and then I got the Atari. I forgot what came after that. And then I got Nintendo, and then I got Super Nintendo.
Well, because we had Atari, and then Atari upgraded to the 5200, and then there was the 7800, which was really obscure.
Right.
And then we got Nintendo. Yeah.
Yeah, I got the first Atari, the 52, and then I got the Nintendo, and then I got a Super Nintendo. Man, I've been gaming for a while, man. I've been loving game. Every time a system came out. Like I even got competing systems, man. I got the Dreamcast. I used to love the Dreamcast. I got the Sega Genesis before the Dreamcast. I had a Sega Genesis and a Super Nintendo at the same time. The only one I didn't have was a 3DX, and my friend Richie had the 3DX. So I used to go over his house to play the 3DX, and then he used to come over my house to play the other stuff. So yeah, we were gaming. We were gaming for a while.
Yeah, and I mean, I remember the days like of doing like Halo LAN parties, stuff like that. Yeah, and that was okay. So imagine this for all you younger viewers out there. So in one room we had an Xbox with 4 people playing there, and then there was a network cable that connected to the next bedroom with another Xbox with 4 other dudes in there, and then there's a third bedroom.
Yeah.
With another Xbox and 4 other dudes in there. That's how we used to do it in the days before. Like now we have things. So
it used to be a whole network, man. Whole network.
Yeah. So you used to be playing with your buddies. It was a little like your buddies were in the next room, sort of thing like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool.
I miss them.
All the kids like Googling all this stuff. Like, what are they talking about? These old people.
Oh man, I mean, basically, I would say my 2 systems I had for the longest time, well past their prime, they should have been, was probably my Nintendo 64, solely because of the wrestling games.
Nintendo 64 with now you cheated. Nintendo 64 with Monday Night Raw. I mean, not Monday Night Raw. It was the NWO, WCW versus the NWO. That game was awesome, man.
Yeah, you had that one, and then the sequel was Revenge, which was really NWO Revenge. And then you had WrestleMania 2000, and then No Mercy, and No Mercy was like like people still. I mean, we're talking about it right now, but I mean,
people still look at that and be like, man, that was when modern wrestling games started really picking up, and then GoldenEye. Like I keep telling my son about GoldenEye. I'm like, man, you don't know, man. He plays Overwatch. I'm just like, man, there's so much stuff from Overwatch that they used that started in GoldenEye, man. It's so awesome.
So I know it's on Microsoft Store because I have an Xbox. Because I have not gone to next generation Xbox, so I'm still rocking an Xbox One right now.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Somebody did a porting of GoldenEye. So it's literally old school GoldenEye, but I'm playing it on my 360.
Oh wow,
or playing on my Xbox One. So
yeah, that's cool. That's
yeah,
right there.
Fun.
yeah. But my wife was commenting on it the other day when I was playing. She's like, "What is up with those trees?" Like, okay, it was 94. You know, this was top of the line. You know, so
that used to be, man. I used to be like,
graphics.
man, the graphics so awesome.
But that was 64-bit back in the day.
I know.
So
Look at those pixels.
I know. All right, so getting back to why we're here talking about the Toshigawa universe here. So I got some images. So I got some characters here that want to talk about here. So obviously some main characters, some main titles you all want to showcase here. So first off, we've got this Jeddah Tales of the Toshigawa Passing of the Torch.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. You want to talk about it?
Well, Passing of the Torch actually is a snippet motion comic, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It's not in any of our books, but we decided to we decided to jump into the motion comic thing, like maybe early spring of last year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when we decided to do Defiance, like in chapters as a motion comic. And it was an undertaking. Like we do like itty bitty bits of animation with like what kind of app do you use? CapCut?
It's
something like that.
Well, the animation part of it is done in Fresco. So I do Adobe Fresco, and so I can draw each frame inside of the iPad and then see it instantly move.
Yeah.
So I can flip back and forth between frames, kind of like you use in like a onion skin or something like that. You know what I mean? You flip it back and forth, or transparent paper, and then I can put together fight scenes in that, or put together like little. Like it's a motion comic, so it's not supposed to be something that is
100% animated.
100%. It's not anime. You know what I mean?
There'll definitely be elements like maybe someone's blinking, or someone is like
the word balloon will pop up in a section or something.
Gotcha.
Lightly swaying in the wind or something.
Right. But it's fully voice cast,
yes.
which is the awesome part.
They really bring our meager attempts at animation to life.
Yeah,
really.
yeah. And they the Passing of the Torch one is a story that is like a side story that takes place in the middle of the first episode. There's a part in the first episode where one of the characters, Kenji, he's preparing to go to college, and he's talking to his sister and his sister Monica, and he's trying to prepare her because he's the current leader of the Mawade Ninja Clan, and he's preparing her to take over while he's gone. So that's what call is Passing of the Torch. And that scene happens like right in the middle of episode 1, but it's not in episode 1. It's just this side story.
It's not in any books.
It's not in any books either. Like we have our graphic novel of Defiance, and it's not in that either. It's really extra, really cool information. If you know the lore, if you know the characters and stuff like that, and you go back and you see this part, you're like, wow, that's pretty in depth, because it adds so much.
It fulfills the universe.
It fulfills the universe, and it adds so much, the human element to these characters. You know what I mean? Right. Because it's not so, you will die. No, you will die. You know what I mean? It's not so much of that.
Just kind of like interjecting, but I know most all of the viewers are not familiar with us. Hopefully they are. Hopefully we have some readers. but like, if you don't know them, like we mentioned, it's called the Toshigawa universe, but he just said the Mawade Ninja Clan. They're like a do we call it sister
ninja clan?
Ninja clan that's based in Miami.
Yeah.
The Toshigawa Ninja Clan is the main ninja group of ninja that we follow, and they're from Japan.
Yeah.
And Kenji is actually like we kind of like incorporated real life lore with Yasuke.
Yeah.
The first black samurai in Japan. And so Yasuke is supposed to be the Mawade ninjas ancestor. and that's their like ancestral tie to Japan. So Kenji is actually like he takes summer vacations in Japan to train with the Toshigawa.
Yeah. So his internship was when he was younger, was going back and forth from Japan to America, training in the summertime and then coming back. Yeah, so we try to be able to put like a little bit of Japanese history mixed in with African American history into this universe, you know what I mean, like real life type stuff, so that I always like the things where you could be able to kind of, you know, pinpoint when certain things have happened in a fictional world, you know what I mean. It's not all kind of like up in the air, you know, made up, you know. Some of it is actually legit for real, like you could go to these places some point. I used to like stuff like that, so I try to incorporate that type of storytelling into what we do. Yeah.
That's a very Marvel comics kind of thing, where it's like, you know, it's fiction, but there are real places you guys are using.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Well, here's a question for you, kind of going back a little bit here. As it goes for the Toshigawa universe, which roles do you guys actually play in the creation of it? Like, who's, you know, like, is there a primary writer? Is there a primary artist? Or you both share the roles, or how does it go that way?
Everybody get in where they fit in.
it is the most hectic assembly line.
None of it makes sense.
He's the main creator, so he has the main storyline in his head, and sometimes he'll let me know what's going on so that I can like.
I let her know, but she may or may not be listening. If she has this look on, like.
No. Well, then you know that's not holding my interest, so we need to change it.
That's not my. That's not even me, man. Like...
So I'll put my 2 cents in. A lot of it is like pretty solid, but I'll like probably go, well, how about if this happens, or you know, what if these characters interact in a certain type of way? You know, how would that kind of make the storyline make like a little bit more exciting? Or
she doesn't say it that nice. She'd be like, yeah, it's like I don't like it. and then after that, after we go back and forth for that, I'll write it, and then I'll let her read it.
Yes.
Most of the time is now, though. It used to be to where I had more time. I used to write it, and then she would read it, and then we'll discuss it, and then I would rewrite it. And this is before I even started drawing it. But now it's gotten to where, like, I've got so less time, and everything's so hectic to where I write it, and then I just start drawing it.
See how he cuts me out?
No, it's not even that. It's not even that. No, I'll ask her what the deal is, and she'd be like, she'd give me that glazed over look. So I'd be like, man, I'm just gonna write it. And then I'll draw it, and then I start putting the words in there, and then I'll let her read that, because that is more concrete. Like, you don't have to kind of like, and like for me, I love the drawing part. So like, say if something is not right, or say if something needs a little bit more work or fleshed out, I don't mind either redrawing it or adding to it, like adding a couple of pages into it. Because I did that this time. I did that with Fujiko and Ray. I added like pages at the beginning, so it's like if something, I don't mind doing that, so it's not really like a big deal. If it was like something I was working on, I would get irritated if it was something that I was working on with Marvel or DC or something. Yeah, and they came back and they said, "Oh man, you gotta redraw Batman every panel." I'd be like, "Dude, what?" And
you're like, "Oh wait."
Since it's my own thing, man, I'd be like, "Dude, I'll draw Jet again. I'm cool." You know what I mean? So I'm good with that, man.
So he's the main artist. The look of all the pages is him. And then
sometimes.
Well, and then he'll pass the lines over to me to do the colors. And
there you go.
That's where I go ahead and knock out all the colors.
Yeah.
You guys
we let
sometimes I love that.
Yeah, sometimes we'll let my son read the story, and my son will weigh in.
Add his his teenage perspective.
Yeah, he'll add. Yeah, so like this panel right here that's on the screen now, that was actually a completely new scene that I drew specifically for the motion comic. So the motion comic, it actually the motion comic, I'll show you the book because I actually have it here. The motion comic,
Akira homaging.
Yeah, Akira.
Oh yeah.
So do I have it here?
Man, you have a stack of books.
I got a stack of old books. So the motion comic is essentially this book right here, right?
Nice.
But there's a lot of pages that are in here that I actually I didn't redraw them, but I kind of contextualized them so that they could be within the realm of a motion comic. So, it's easier for me to actually like be able to take her and like skid her along a path, so it looks like she's going as opposed to like just, it adds a little bit of something extra for people who have gotten the book and are reading along and with the words and stuff. So it's not exactly, the motion comic and the book are not exactly 1-to-1. But it's really kind of meant to be a little bit extra.
Yeah, I mean, I got to give you all kudos. I mean, the arts, you all share with me, like this is really fantastic stuff. You're like, I love this image here. Of course, you got this one here from the was it A Cat's Tale?
Yeah, that's another short.
Yeah, that's not in the book.
It's not in the book either. So it's another short, and it's completely voice cast as well.
Yeah, and then of course here's an image, I guess, from Passing of the Torch there.
Yeah.
So just it is really well done. Great detail in here. Here's you've got a good group shot here of a lot of the heroes. And
I appreciate it, man. This is actually the last scene, the closing credits essentially of the episode, the first episode of the motion comic.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. What you all offer with the Toshigawa universe, like it's more than just comics. You go to the website, which I'm sorry, we need to get a link for your website here, but that's my bad. But you go on the website for the Toshigawa universe, and like there's all kinds of merch. You've got bookmarks you guys do. There's backpacks, there's T-shirts, there's plushies, there's the books you guys do as well. So like there's a whole thing you guys have created here. Like this thing is huge.
Yeah. We try to make it as accessible as we possibly can. We know that everybody, like one of the reasons why we're doing the motion comics is that we know that everybody is not into reading comics, or they're not into reading manga. Some kids, they get like, I really looked at my son and I was like, I want to kind of really not study him, but see exactly
what it is that piques his interest.
Yeah, and he loves being immersed into a world through the anime first or the video game, and then he goes out and seeks the books. It was hard for me to get him to read a DC or a Marvel book, but he started playing Marvel Rivals, which is a free game, and he started being like, wow, this character is kind of cool, and he started seeking it out himself. But
we also introduced him to X-Men.
Extra 97.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's where he gets a lot of his knowledge from for the characters.
Right. And he started buying the Rivals books and like that reverse engineering of how things start and how people find their way to the fandom is what I'm trying to be able to tap into. And that's the reason why we have so many things on our site. We have the bookmark because people we got prints because people may just be into art. We have the plushies because we do have little creatures and things like that. We got the plushies and we do have little creatures and stuff like that on our on our in our books. Maybe one of those things to pique your interest just so you can go back and say, hey, I want to see what this is all about.
Yeah, 100%. And matter of fact, what you guys see right now on your screen, that is the site there for everything Toshigawa universe. And like I said, it is well beyond that sort of thing. So, like you guys were talking about, being accessible for kids, and there's a lot more of today's. I sound old, but today's youth that are way more into manga than they are traditional comics. That's kind of why, like, DC Comics currently has the DC Compacts, which are like their whole line of trade paperbacks they're doing are manga sized, and they're $10 each.
Right.
Doesn't like there's big old thick boys like Watchmen or Long Halloween, and thin guys like Azarello and Bermejo's Joker. They're all $10. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's like that's like.
It's just accessible, man. It's just accessible. I look at a whole bunch of things. I look at even down to how books are positioned in like Barnes and Noble and things like that. You know what I mean? How they look. It's easy to be able to. If you go over to it's changing now. But if you go over to the graphic novel section, Marvel and DC, there's so many different sizes, and then there's so many different like you said, you can get the Long Halloween, or you can get the Hush, or you can get Hush 2, or you can get you know what I mean. And it's like nobody, if you are a layman, a kid, you go over there and you're like, man, I really want to pick this up. It's hard for you to just go and just say, I'm just gonna stab in the dark and just pick up this, you know what I mean, without knowing exactly how close it is to the rendition that you are familiar with, you know what I mean? Whereas with a manga, you can go over to the manga section and you look at the manga books, and you look at Chainsaw Man, and it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yep.
And I'm gonna start at 1, or I don't have 1, I'm gonna start at 10. You know what I mean? Or even if it's down to like, hey, I'm familiar with most of the storyline because I saw it in the anime, but I want to get ahead.
Right.
You just look and say, okay, number 5 is where the anime leaves off. I'm gonna start at 6. You know what I mean? That's super simple, man. It's just accessible, and it's like I think those things we can all learn from. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what I'm doing with my thing. You know what I mean? It's just book 1, book 2, book 3, book 4. Now they do have their own names. One is Defiance, one is Last Chances, one is Reign, but it's still labeled as this is Jetta Tales of Toshigawa book 1, book 2, book 3, and you just you pick your poison. You know what I mean? Yeah, plus we also have like our Shinobi Princess line, where it's a younger version of the story that we have. So she's, instead of being 20 something, she's 14. So it allows for a teenager to, or a kid, a young adult or a kid or somebody to get in, at all ages, to get in, read up to a certain point, and then oh man, she gets older, and as you get older, you actually grow with the story. That's something that I think that is very important as well.
Absolutely. So we were, Martheus and I, we were talking a lot about, our influences and things we like. So Janet, let's hear from you. Like, what are a lot of the influences, things you grew up, things you enjoy that you bring into the creation for the Toshigawa stuff?
Leisure Suit Larry.
Not even. So, in my early part of my childhood, I actually lived in Okinawa, Japan. So there was one American station on base that began at 8 o'clock and ended at midnight every day. And of course it had like the regular, I guess, Western type stuff. It had a lot of PBS type stuff, but there was also like several Japanese stations where, oddly enough, they played anime on prime time. So let's see, I was influenced, but now none of this was in English, so I would just be watching and just follow along with the whatever is how are the characters interacting. I would have to make up my own dialogue and figure out, oh, okay, that guy don't like that guy, and and they're fighting, or that girl is in love with so and so, and oh, there's a mecha. Okay, well, I guess they're gonna save the planet again. So there was oh my gosh, it wasn't Voltron, but it was several anime that were Voltron-like. So might have been Mazinger. Yeah, Mazinger Kaiser. maybe something was Gotcha Man. You know, it was a lot of stuff like that that were all very similar with the formula. But also the one that I remember the most was I'm gonna say it wrong. Urusai Yatsura, which has like this girl in a bikini and green hair, and she floats around this loser boy from high school.
Loser boy.
I
He's kind of loser, though,
I only
man.
know this because I'm watching episodes now, and it's like dubbed or subbed, and I'm like, oh, that's what's going on. Okay,
But
Nice.
but I love that she was like for some reason my hero when I was like 6 and 7. And I like watched a lot of maybe questionable things when I was little.
Very question. I'm starting to wonder about your upbringing.
but like so a lot of the things that I grew up with is kind of like an amalgamation. I can't like pinpoint any one thing, but what I do remember was that I loved how anime looked. Anime like looked very different to me from like He-Man Filmation. I still love He-Man. I love She-Ra, but it was a clear difference with the styles of animation and like the way the storytelling was. It was pushed a little bit not for like the young kids. It was actually like there were real stakes, you know, people got hurt. There were things you actually had to think about.
And somebody might have died. They may not come back.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's what I was saying.
That's the thing that I learned later on about manga in Japan is like there are manga for any subject you want. I mean, it's not just the superhero and the sci-fi and the fantasy and the horror stuff. Like there's sports related stuff. There's romance. There's walk of life stuff, and everybody reads manga. Doesn't matter if you're 5 years old or 105 years old. There's everybody reads mangas. It's such a cultural thing.
Yes.
So yeah, so that's kind of always I found interesting. It's like there's so much more to unlock that American audiences either the very pedestrian sort of thing like that you're not introduced to, but maybe if you start digging in a little bit more, you find out so much more. So
yeah.
So now, is there any influences that kind of come into Toshigawa for either of you that would surprise the audience? Something you wouldn't think would be a typical influence?
Well, that Ninja 3 the Domination thing.
Ninja 3 the Domination. Y'all need to go see that 80s movie, man. It's awesome.
I think all the Ninja series are currently streaming on Tubi right now. So yeah,
Ninja. I know Ninja 3 the Domination's on there because I watched it like last week.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But I will say I know. Let's see, an influence that I know that people may not. Okay, so here's the there's two influences. All right. So one of the influences that people may not expect in there, and you may be able to get it with our newest book a lot more. And one of them is wrestling, wrestling, and then the second one is Street Fighter video games. Nice. So like, and it's in this new book that we're working on, it's a little bit more apparent because a lot of the stuff that's taking place, it's a tournament that we're working on. So it's a lot of the things in this book is kind of, if you are a FGC fan, a fighting game community fan, then you will know.
Be able to pinpoint some moves.
Yeah, you'll be able to pinpoint some moves. You'll be able to pinpoint some things that people are talking. But also, I think that especially in Shinobi Ninja Princess, it was Super Sentai. Super Sentai is a big influence in how how
you group the kids,
how I group the kids, their relationships to each other, how even down to how they relate to doing special moves and things like that. you know, two of the characters, well, Kenji, the one that you just saw, when he was younger, Shinobi Princess, this character Kenji actually is the same age as Jetta, so they're both 14 in Shinobi Princess, and they are best friends. It's three of them. It's like a trio. It's Kenji, Shiandria, and Megumi, and they are they a lot of times skip out on practice to go play video games or go watch Kamen Rider.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you know, stuff like that happens a lot, you know. So
well, I was gonna say, I don't know if people will catch this or not, but so like, we're gonna back up a little bit. So the Jetta books came before the Shinobi Princess books, okay? And Jetta was full of angst and turmoil, and
at first, very 90s.
And this was like almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But then we found out we were gonna have a baby, and then I was like, or we actually decided, you know what? What if we wrote our characters for the kids that are growing up, like so our child can read along with it and grow with it and stuff. So and actually during that time, we were kind of late to it, but we had discovered Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
And I just want to say that show is so awesome as far as like the portrayal of character developments and the friendships and the different character interactions. Like all of the majority of the characters in that show are kids, and they act like, I mean, they could beat up grown men and stuff, but you know,
they're still kids.
They
were
still
act like
kids, and they interacted with each other. Like they'd play tricks on each other. They'd kind of joke around each other. They'd kind of, we call it checking each other, you know, kind of like, and I was like, we started talking about how fun it was. There was this element of fun and friendship. And if we were to write a younger Shiandria story, can we incorporate that same feeling? Can we try to make that same feeling with like a group of kids that were just really good friends, and they just happen to be ninjas?
Right. They just have like the ninja part of it was secondary almost. Like you still have to have like that ninja action. It's an action story.
Yeah.
But
it's called Shinobi.
Yeah, it's called Shinobi. You know what I mean? So but at the same time, it was like, you know, could we be able to like make the human kid side of it, the teen part of it, be a just as important? Not like a B story, but it actually is a joint A story, you know. So on my phone.
And it's funny too, because, you know, like I say, I'm 50, so I'm, you know, a little bit older than y'all, but growing up in the 80s, ninjas were such a huge part of like just pop culture. Like everything was ninja. It was so many ninja movies, ninja everything else. There was like books like How to Be a Ninja. You know, step one, wear black.
Which way book that was a ninja.
I had a which way book, a choose your own adventure book about becoming a ninja, and I died a lot, man. I was like, God dang, let me flip back the page.
Dude,
I can make my better choice. Yeah, and then I'll make another choice. Be like, God dang, man, I died again, man. It's like, what? Yeah, you know.
So I grew up in an interesting kind of layout of a neighborhood. Like it was like a regular like middle class suburb, but we were surrounded by two different housing projects. But there was like this little bit of woods that's like next to one of the housing projects. Like so, we all just get together and play in the woods and stuff like that. And so I got real good at like making ninja masks out of t-shirts. Like literally, you put on the t-shirt and like just like get it like a little bit like so you're like a little bit like just your eyes are showing, then you just tie it around your head.
Yeah.
Boom, instant ninja mask. And I even had this whole storyline that I created. Like there was like basically like three friends. They were all ninjas. Like one guy, like he was just like the best fighter, and like he was the black ninja. The red ninja was the archer, but he had fire arrows. And then
Oh my god.
and then the gray ninja was able to summon electricity because I love Big Trouble in Little China. So yeah, and then like their main villain was their former master who basically had turned on them, and so I had a whole thing. So I'm telling you, yes, I'm right there with you with the ninja stuff.
Yeah,
we need to just let people know that you have just copywritten that story though. So, so don't try people.
That's kind of true, man. Say copyright, trademark.
Trademark. Yeah. So, well, I didn't reveal the characters' names either. So there you go. So
there you go. Yeah.
Keep that.
Yeah, that is about the time where I was. I love ninjas. I was into martial arts. I'm still into martial arts. I used to teach Shotokan karate back in the day as well.
Nice.
And I fought a little bit. I used to go to tournaments. I used to go to tournaments every weekend. And then there wasn't that much money in that, and I kept getting hurt. So I got to I tried fighting a little bit in the ring, and then I was like, man, it was either
you did like 2 fights, right?
Two fights. Three fights. Two. I can't remember. See, it's getting hit.
There you go.
CTE boy makes your brain up. So I had to be able to figure out like which one I wanted to do was art or fight
get
hit. I still train though.
There you go.
But yeah, so it's always that type of the martial arts, ninjas, mythology are all across the board. I love mythology, period. You know what I mean? All that stuff goes into the story, and I try to be able to incorporate it into the writing as much as we possibly can.
Yeah, that seems very evident too with how much of a world you all have built with all this, and basically, a lot of in-depth characters and their connections with each other, and writing prequels where there's a lot, and that's what the building of any good universe is, just deep mythology, and you've revealed you've revealed so far, but as a reader, there's more to come. There are more stories you guys have not told yet.
Right, yeah. We try to be able to, one thing I think that Star Wars used to be good at before it started being like a kind of like this branching expectation of what's to come. You know what I mean? When Star Wars was when we didn't know if we were going to get another Star Wars another Star Wars movie or show or anything like that. It became this thing to where, it was really good at putting little branches inside of your head of what possibly could be. Yeah. Mentioning the Clone Wars, but not saying anything about what it really was. And in your head, you're like, oh man, what?
Like planting seeds.
Yeah, this Clone Wars.
For a rainy day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mentioning Anakin Skywalker and being like, oh my gosh, who is that guy and how could he, it was really good at that. And I think that's what we try to do. We try to be able to plant those seeds in your head, and maybe what we're planting in your head will kind of spark into some type of, interest outside of what we're actually doing, that may bring you back into what we're doing, Yeah,
there's actually little branches of stories off of this main core bit that I am excited, and I don't know when we'll get to it, but it's like going even further back before Shandria was a teenager, before she was even born. Mm-hmm. And it goes to tell the story about her father, Stephen Toshigawa, before he turned to the dark side, but how he grew up and his group of friends, because he wasn't always the evil emperor of Japan.
Okay.
So what was his growing up like? And who are his friends and stuff like that. And in our Shinobi Princess stories, a lot of her teachers were his friends when they were growing up. So that's already seeds planted, and it's like, well, what happened? How did they have a falling out? Why is he now not with the Toshigawa?
And
why,
we do kind of touch on that a little bit. We have a whole chapter that is just her learning about him, and it's a story that Andrea's at the beginning. The rest of the story is just about him and his mom and her mom, and
their meet
cutes and how they got together essentially at this tournament. That was, I will say, that was really, really cool to kind of write. You know what I mean?
I liked it because you actually handed it over to me after you had done all the dialogue and stuff, and I was like,
I didn't do all the dialogue.
I know.
Like, no, I didn't. I didn't write that. I didn't write that. Kevin wrote it.
What?
Yeah. So that one.
Well, I might have like added some stuff to Kevin's stuff.
Yeah.
Kevin, our editor.
So Kevin Williams is our editor. He does a lot of the red pen stuff. And he does a lot of the continuity stuff sometimes. So like, say if I say a person's here and they're supposed to be over there, he says, well, he can't be here because he's over there.
And he's very good at archival things. Like he oh boy, you ask him about the Muppets.
Yeah, he's really good
Ghostbusters.
At,
but that's
episode 22 of the Ghostbusters. Exactly. You know what I mean? He's really good.
That's why we got him on board, because we were like, you know your stuff.
Yeah.
We need you to keep us on track.
So like, but on this one, I gave him the plot. Like I told him the beat. Like I gave him the outline, and he wrote the story. And then what I did was I took the story in, and I read it, and then I kind of reworded some things, because some of the settings that he used in the story no longer existed. So I took those out, and then that's what I gave to you. And then
I went a little further, and I made Steven so smooth.
No,
that guy. I don't know if we have a picture of him, but this man has like beautiful long hair and a goatee, and he's looking at the girls like,
Is that him?
No, that's that's another smooth dude. That's Devo.
Okay.
Devo comes. I don't know if I sent it. I don't know if let me see if I have. I should have a picture.
Yeah, that's not that. Usually the guy had goatee, so not with him.
Yeah.
This is him. If I find a better one. That's him right there.
Oh, okay.
Right there. Okay. This dude right here. Yeah. He's over there. He meets his opponents, and Sheandria's mother is on the opponent team, but he's like
he's over there being all suave. Yeah, he's over there being all suave, and his coach is like, hey man, they are the best.
Focus.
You need to focus, because that is the enemy team.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so she did suaving up his dialogue.
Their dialogue is very flirty.
Yeah. She had fun writing that. But I did have fun. I had fun drawing it, though. It was really cool. Like I had a lot of fun drawing him, especially. It's really cool.
You did give him. Didn't you like take pictures of yourself?
Yeah. I took pictures of myself.
He takes pictures of himself as reference, and then he'll draw it. Like
a
lot of those.
Yeah, with him, he has it. It's this one shot. Where he's jumping, and I was like, yeah, man, I know exactly what I'm gonna do. So I was here by myself, and I took a picture. I took a picture of me doing this. I took a picture of me from down here, and I put all those shots together. It was just like, oh yeah. And I was looking at the reference, like, yeah, this is cool. So yeah,
that's very Frank Frazetta of you there. So yeah,
facial expressions, like when him that one facial expression when he was doing like he was like
he does that all the time.
I was like, yeah.
That's kind of what.
Oh my God.
Interested in you.
Whatever.
Oh, love it. Well, we are getting close to the end of our hour here, but I know. Like I told you, it's at times she flies, man. But real quick here, before we get into any plugs here at the end, is there any projects like you guys are either going to think about working on, or anything that maybe would be outside the Toshigawa, or basically is everything full bore Toshigawa at this point?
Wow. Currently, we both are working on the next Shinobi Princess graphic novel. That is like the tournament arc. So I think I've finished coloring the 40th page in there. I don't know how many pages it's supposed to be.
100.
Okay. And then, well, almost halfway.
Yeah.
And then I am off and on when I have a time to think about it. I'm working on like a little bitty snippet side story of Kenji, with his Miami friend group. And because they don't know what he does. He goes to school in Miami and stuff, and he hangs out with his friends and plays video games. None of them are ninja.
Right.
They don't know what he does when he goes to summer camp in Japan. And you know, they kind of like end up in a situation where he shows off his skills and they are aghast. Or not aghast, but like, yeah, they are like, I can't believe that dude did that. You know? But they're like all like young teenagers and stuff, and yeah. And then
Avior. Yeah, we're working on Avior, which is a book by the Experimental Aircraft Association. They have their own comic
guy.
book, and their
mascot
own
character,
their own character, and the character was actually created by Stan Lee and given to them. So it's kind of cool to be working on a Stan Lee book. So I draw the pages, she colors the pages, and then I do the graphic design, and we send it back in.
Who is the writer? Do you remember
Zeb Haddockfield.
Zeb. Okay.
Yeah, Zeb. He is the writer of it, and then we send all of our stuff in and print. It's an awesome story. Teaches kids about aviation, but it also is an adventure story with its own like mythology and world and stuff. So it's really cool, man.
Little tidbits of aeronautic history, and things like that, inventions and experiments.
So
what issue? How many issues have we done?
Man,
it's like 5.
No, we've done like six issues. Yeah.
I just know when they send the script, it's just nothing but that.
Yeah.
AVR becomes nothing like but that.
Yeah, because it's like quick. I don't want to say it's quick turnaround, but it's
eat dinner, color pages. That's
right.
It.
It's not quick turnaround. It's just, but it is like there's a definite deadline. You know what I mean? It's a comic, you know. So
yes.
Sure. And we're also working on the second episode of the motion comic. Yes. So episode 2 is out. The script has gone out, and the voice actors are turning in their lines. And then I'm going through and listening to each one and making suggestions, or if there's corrections or something extra that I need, I'm reaching out to them. They should have everything in April to finish that. And then once that's done, I start helping out with the animation. My friend, his name is Pardeep Kumaway, and he is he runs a group called Incredimate, and they are in India. So I'm helping. I do some of the animation, and I send the editing over to him with the script and stuff, and then it's just me and him and them working back and forth trying to get everything situated and correct.
What about the interns? He had a student. He used to teach a class called the Comic Studio, and a kid took his class and actually was so inspired that he went to France for animation school.
And then he came back this summer, and he was my intern. Him and another student that was his friend at the same school. They both interned with me. So hopefully, it just depends on him and his availability. If he comes back again, then we're gonna be finishing up a lot of the stuff that he's doing, and a lot of the things that they did ended up in episode 1. So a lot of things that I'll put them on storyboarding and things like that. And then once the storyboards come back to me, I animate them. I animate it, send it over to Incredimate, and Incredimate incorporates it into the motion comic that you see. And then that stuff comes back to me. And then what I do is I put any kind of finishing touches in my editing. So and any kind of commercials and stuff too, I'll put in the commercials and stuff, commercial breaks, because we have old school bumpers like, we now return to Jeddah, Tales of the Toshigawa. We have those things inside there as well. So I have to do those and then we release. So it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. We got a lot of help in the motion comic regard. Mm-hmm. Like with the regular comics, it's basically us and Kevin, the editor. But with the motion comic, it is a whole new venture, and we can't do it. You don't want to hear like us trying to repitch our voice for each character. So do you want to go? Let us fight. So I don't want to hear that. We owe so much to all the talented voice actors, the animators, the editors, the animation editors and stuff, everyone who helped us with this new venture, because this is new. Yeah. And this is even more work.
It sounds like you guys really have your hands full with this whole thing. But it's really impressive just to see, how much you guys have created and what all is available for accessibility into the universe. And of course, again, the site, they see on your screen right here, Toshigawa-universe.square.site for all things Toshigawa. Keep up with these guys, because I'm telling you what,
and keep up with us.
Yes.
So also on that site, people can also click to subscribe to our newsletter, where we send monthly updates and little tidbits of works in progresses and things like that. People are welcome to write in, comment nicely. Please comment nicely.
Yeah, please.
But we look forward to hearing from our readers, our watchers, our readers and watchers.
Yeah, that's important. You have good feedback, building that community, whatever else. It's like this. Let me bring up one more. I love this image here for the for episode 1 here for Jeddah.
Yeah.
That's a little cropped bit of the motion comic poster. We have a full poster of that.
Yeah, so it's like a full poster that is like a poster that you would see hanging up in a movie theater. So
nice.
Yeah.
So like I said, it's just a great animation style. You guys have just really just built something really, really impressive and spectacular when it comes to like your own obviously anime influence, but you've taken so many other influences in here too. So just hats off to you. Really, really well done here. So.
Thank you for inviting us on too.
Absolutely, yeah. And of course, the true reason why we're here, of course, is for the Multiverse Funraiser. We are here in supporting our friends Comic Books for Kids for our 3rd year in a row now. An outstanding charity here. So we're going to end the stream here with a message from our friends for Comic Books for Kids. But again, thank you, Janet. Thank you, Martheus, very much for being on here. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you. It's fun.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to get you all on the Fanatic Forum another time here, and we'll, like I said, we get off on some weird tangents ourselves here, so all sorts of stuff. So so definitely, you guys got some new stuff out to promote here. Definitely have to have you all back on here. So
awesome. Looking forward to it.
Well, you all have yourselves a wonderful weekend, and thank you guys for tuning in to Fanatic Forum. And of course, there's a lot more to come with the Multiverse Funraiser here for tomorrow and for Sunday, so stay tuned, and we will see you guys next time on the Fanatic Forum. TTFN.
The Multiverse Funraiser is partnering with Comic Books for Kids to raise money for their cause. Their mission is to provide comic books to children in hospitals and cancer centers across the United States, Canada, and the UK. We believe in the importance of providing stories that promote hope and bravery to kids who are facing things that are scarier than any supervillain. And we truly believe in this cause. To donate, you can either go to our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/The Multiverse Funraiser or directly to comicbooksforkids.org.
The Multiverse Funraiser would like to thank our sponsors: Earth Dog Studios, Clobberin Comics, The Art of Brian Rodman, Studio Moonfall, Elusive Comics, and of course, the Phoenix Sisters Entertainment Network for hosting this event. Learn how to support these businesses on the MVFR website.